Somewhere different today. In fact, I'm on a bit of a fact-finding mission. You could say this is a mission to Misson. It may seem strange, but I've already got a kick out of this place. A kick for just even being here. This is the first time I've visited Misson, and there is a reason for that, and that reason will crop up later in this video. I've never been here before. It's always access by permit only, but it's always been somewhere that I wanted to come and visit. It's a large area, and this is a small car park. I've come in through the gates and reversed back and parked the car there. I'm here for an hour or so. The idea is a quick walk round the reserve to suss things out and have a look for a few invertebrates on the way. This is a site that shows a lot of promise, and it's renowned in Nottinghamshire as being one of the best places to trap moths. But it has a great site species list, not only of moths but of all other orders as well. There must be a lot here still to discover. Well, already I'm only maybe 100 yards into the site. I'm just going to see where the paths lead to, but I like this site a lot. This is a shallow drainage ditch. Shallower at one part, it's about 10 feet wide, deeper towards the far bank, the left-hand bank. Lovely clear water. What a fabulous piece of habitat this place is. Well, I've not stopped to look for anything really. There's one particular spider that I'd like to find here. I have seen it before because Misson is one of only 2 sites in Nottinghamshire for a jumping spider, an ant-like jumping spider called Synageles venata, and apparently it's been found here on the fence posts around the small car park where we opened up this video. But I'm going to have a proper look at some of these fencing and fence posts as I go round. But this is going to be some site. It's full of knapweed. The variety of insects here will be enormous. To be honest, I would say that this probably has or certainly has the potential to have the highest number of species, of invertebrate species, anywhere in Nottinghamshire. And I think that might be quite easily done or achieved. So we'll keep looking for Synageles. Might find it. It's only a small thing, but what a sight. It's breezy today, so it's difficult to find somewhere sheltered enough to do some filming, but there's plenty of butterflies here. Small tortoiseshell, peacock, green veined white, large white, orange tip and speckled wood so far. It's a cracking sight. Isn't that just the most beautiful song? My real sign of spring. Beats the cuckoo for me. And it's willow warbler. There's quite a few in now, and this male's obviously taken up territory here. Super habitat for it. Willow warbler and chiffchaff as well. I could listen to that quite happily all day long. Hard to imagine that around 100 years ago, sort of the 1930s, this was a Ministry of Defence site, training site and a bombing site. It's a good job the Ministry of Defence have stopped that malarkey around here. But once again, I have to thank the Ministry of Defence that this site is even here. It's surrounded, this part of Nottinghamshire in the Idle Valley, by just flat arable fields. It's relatively featureless, to be honest. The River Idle is a beautiful river, I must admit, but this is like an oasis. If I put a map in, you'll see that Misson is like an oasis within a sea of agricultural farmland. And if the Ministry of Defence hadn't bought this land or commandeered this land all those years ago, I'd have been sat in a farmer's crop by now. There won't be the likes of orange tips and green veined whites and brimstones and speckled woods flying past me. It would be a very different picture. They don't go mad on hedgerows in this particular part of Nottinghamshire. So this place, the fact that it's even here at all, we have to thank the army. It's not all ditches and carl woodland. There's some open grassy areas with some scrub growth around the outsides. Lots of silver birch, open woodland. There's just everything here. It's a beautiful place, it really is. I'm very impressed. I don't know what images I had of the makeup of this site, but it wasn't quite like this, I must admit. It's a pleasant surprise, it really is. I thought while I'm here, I'll take a couple of bags full of samples to sort through at a later date. It's very different habitat, so chances are it could turn up something different, or certainly something that's not been recorded before in the form of false scorpion, perhaps a spider or harvestman. But the main reason I visited Misson today is that I'm going to be doing some moth recording here throughout the year. I'm coming sort of 5 or 6 times and doing another day at a time visit as well, and the purpose is to see what species are still here, and especially what species are new here. There's bound to have been some new species recorded, and I don't know how well the micro moths especially have been recorded here. This has been a well recorded site over the years, but I don't think it's been trapped, at least since we had the COVID problems in 2020 and 2021. So I'll be visiting here 5 or 6 times during the coming months, and we should have some cracking nights of moth trapping. Access with the car is limited to how far I can go. I may well do all the trapping from the confines of the car park area, but we'll see what kind of a summer we have. Well, it depends on whether it's a wet summer or a dry summer, but there should be plenty to keep us occupied. and I'm looking forward to trapping here. Misson has been one of those sort of enigmatic sites that were very much off limits really. If you wanted to trap, you'd never get permission to trap here, but I have, and I'm overjoyed at the prospect of running a moth trap here. I can't wait to get started, to be honest, and see what turns up. It's certainly going to be an interesting place to trap. Personally, it should bring a number of species that I've not encountered before. It's a rare opportunity for me here. And what a habitat it is! Such a wide variety of trees and shrubs and plants and flowers. Some very rare moths here, especially on a county level. And I'm looking forward and hoping that we'll be able to trap some of those during the coming months. It all depends on the weather, the Great British weather. But certainly, as a site, this appears to have everything. Well, this view gives you a great idea of how Misson would look, and would indeed be, if it wasn't for the Nottinghamshire Wildlife Trust and for the Army and the Ministry of Defence originally. It would look like what's on the right of your screen. It's grassland, yes. It's pasture, yes. But there isn't a flower in it. It's a shame. I dare say one time this would have been the most magnificent meadow. It's just a big empty space of grass. Nothing for invertebrate value at all. I think all the invertebrates here are going to be in there, and that's where we're coming in a week or so's time.